Hi everyone, welcome back. We are in the greenhouse today and I just want to show you how everything is going. Clearly we've got some dead things behind me I need to clean up, but let's see what's going on. So we have had some warm days, some cool days, just all over the place, but for the most part we haven't had to cover anything in the greenhouse just yet. It's pretty cool today and cloudy, so I have the door and the window shut, but just yesterday it was warm and there was a nice kind of cool breeze coming through here, and we had it propped open and the window propped open. The spinach that came up is doing really well. This stuff kind of closer to you is a little bit smaller, and then this stuff down here is definitely doing really well. So we're hoping to get the spinach up and going so we can get it covered. We'll cover this with a tarp like we did previously, and then this will be covered up for winter months so that we can use it when it's a little bit colder out. But we are hoping that it gets a little bit bigger first, especially this section here. We never did get that pepper plant planted in here. They are still in the garden, and honestly I can probably still pull them out and bring them in here because I'm pretty sure the stems are still going to be pretty alive in there. I did move one of my elderberry plants in here. I never got it planted. I probably could still get away with planting it, but I'm really pushing it. So I think I'm going to up pot it. This was one I thought had died and then came back in little sprigs. So I think I'm going to try to up pot it, and I'm not sure if it's going to last in here over the winter, but I kind of just dropped the ball with this, to be completely honest. So I've got it sitting here. I did have to pull out a couple roots the one time, and I think that's why I lost it. My bigger elderberry plant had rooted so much into the ground where it was, and it just was not an ideal spot for it to permanently be. So I pulled it out, and I think we've lost that whole plant. But I thought I lost this whole one, and then I got these little shoots. So I'm going to hold out a little hope for it just yet. We'll see. Right here is where I'm hoping to put one of those pepper plants when we have a little bit more time. Our carrots are doing really well. They are definitely still growing. In fact, I've got this one here I noticed is going to flower. It's going to seed. So I don't know what that's about, but it must have definitely got some hot weather in here. So I'm hoping, same with this as the spinach, to get these built up a little bit so that I can cover them and then come in and pick carrots as we need them. Last year what we ended up doing is picking them at the end of the winter, just kind of early spring, so that we could get started planting in here, and that's probably what will happen with these. I do have a few different herbs that I pulled in here or were in here from summertime, and last week, if you joined me, I harvested off of the ones that I really wanted to get some herbs from. I'm going to try to just keep these pots in here because I did have really good luck with some of my herbs over wintering, and the ones that I did not, I was able to just kind of sprinkle some more seeds in here and they came back. I have some little sprouts in my, I was like, these are not sage sprouts. I have some little sprouts in my sage pot that are actually oregano. My oregano is seeding into my sage pot, but just seeing those little sprouts, I might be able to keep some of this through the winter. So we're going to keep it in here just because of that. Now, we did have some cold days a while back, and it took out our tomato plants. So not just the ones touching the outside here, it took out all of it. They're all done. So I was looking at my memories from last year, and here we are about Halloween, and we were still harvesting tomatoes from the greenhouse this time last year. So every year is different. You never really know what you're going to get. This year was certainly dry, and we certainly ended the season almost a month earlier from what we harvested from the garden last year versus this year. So it is kind of crazy to see how you can kind of get some extra harvest some years when you can get away with that extra month of gardening. So today I'm going to be pulling down all of these tomato plants. I wish I had done it a little sooner so that I could have harvested some of these tomatoes I missed. I did miss, I would say, at least a dozen tomatoes on here, so that's kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. These tomato plants are actually going to go straight into our compost. We did not have any issues with these, no blight, nothing. They do so well in here. I think I will probably continue planting one variety of tomatoes in here always, even though it is kind of a pain in the butt how they're coming up. We tried it on strings and this, putting it over the arch, I don't know, but it is kind of nice how well they do in here. So I got all the plants pulled down. I did pull out some of the roots, but some were just so deep I cut them low because accidentally pulled some carrots when I was pulling a few of them. So these carrots are going to go in the house, but the rest of this we're going to toss into the compost, and at least it's for the most part cleaned up for the winter. And then these beds will eventually get covered too. So that's what's going on in the greenhouse and what we've got growing. I would love to hear what you're growing this time of year, because I know some of you are still growing plants inside or maybe outside, and it is so interesting to hear what everybody's got going on. Thanks for watching, and glad you got to see me again. Bye.